Hey there, vceHhd students. My name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. This short video, we're looking at different types of mortality, and this is relevant to Unit 1 and Unit 3 vceHhd for the 2025 to 2029 HHD study zone. As you can see here, we have different social media, activities for the Health Resources Hub. So we've got an Instagram, a TikTok, and a Facebook page. So you can follow us and get alerts to new videos that are coming out regularly and also other opportunities for HHD students. You can also email us at info@hrh.net.au. So what parts of the course does this particular video relate to? So in Unit 1 and Unit 3, you have to look at health status indicators. And so for Unit 1, you can see there mortality is one of those health status indicators. In Unit 3, it does also again mention mortality, but in brackets, you can see that there's three specific types of mortality. So we'll touch on those today. And if you're doing Unit 1, this will help prepare you for Unit 3 and 4 as you move forward in the course. So what are the different types of mortality in HHD? Well, first of all, mortality refers to death or levels of death within the population. And make sure you go back and have a look. We've done a previous video on morbidity, so don't get mortality confused with morbidity. So you might like to look at the term mortality and death. They both have an A in them, whereas morbidity and illness both have an I. So that can maybe help you to remember those sort of terms that are associated with one another. So mortality refers to death. So then there's these three different types here: under five, maternal, and infant mortality. So under five mortality, as the name suggests, is the number of deaths of children under 5 years of age, often measured per 1,000 live births. So make sure you include that as part of your description when describing under five mortality. Maternal mortality, so death of mother during pregnancy, childbirth, or within 6 weeks of delivery, often measured per 100,000 women who give birth or per 100,000 live births. So that term maternal is focusing on the mother. So don't get that confused in, say, a response where you're referring to maternal mortality. Don't refer to the death of the child. That's focusing on the mother. So that, as it says there, can be during pregnancy or shortly after pregnancy. And that can often be as a result of, say, complications to do with that pregnancy. And then infant mortality, the number of deaths of infants between birth and their first birthday, once again, often measured per 1,000 live births. So that's sort of between 0 and 1, where under 5 is obviously between 0 and 5. So just to give you a sense of what some data might look like if you are looking, okay, at some just some mortality data in relation to Australia, you can see here the under 5 mortality rate per 1,000 live births over time. So this one's from 1949 to approximately 2021. And so you can see over time there's been a gradual decrease in the under 5 mortality rate in Australia. And so if you were to quote some of the figures from this graph, so if you were to say, look at 2021, approximately you would say it's around sort of 4.5 per 1,000 live births was the under 5 mortality rate. So make sure you're always including that per 1,000 live births or whatever that sort of unit is when it comes to a graph or some data to do with mortality. As you can see down the bottom of the slide here also, if you're a Unit 3 and 4 student, you can head to the hrh.net.au, our website, and sign up for our free student newsletter. We've got SAC, exam tips and resources that are coming out twice a term throughout the year. So if you head there, you'll see there's a link there to register to be part of the student newsletter. Okay, so here's a sample question and also answer. So outline how a lack of healthcare facilities may impact on mortality. And so when it says impact on mortality, it's, I guess, giving you the option, okay, to say it might increase or decrease levels of mortality. But if it's a lack of healthcare facilities, I'd be thinking about how that might be impacting on increasing mortality rates, so death rates. So you can see the sample answer here says a lack of healthcare facilities may mean that women who are giving birth are unable to access health professionals to assist them as a result of that lack of healthcare. So that might lead to complications that arise during birth, not receiving appropriate treatment, and that might then result in the death of the mother and or the child, and that increases mortality. And then just in brackets there, I've written specifically maternal mortality and infant mortality, okay, just because we've touched on those specific types. But the question is just asking about, I guess, mortality in general. So that's why I put that in brackets. It's not necessarily required. If the question was obviously asking specifically about maternal mortality, it'd have to look slightly different in your answer, but it's just generally about mortality. But you can see there making sure that you're sort of elaborating on that lack of healthcare facilities and how that might lead to deaths, and then making sure there's part of your answer, instead of just saying impact, that you're talking about increasing mortality, so show what that impact is. Okay, hope you found this video useful. If you'd like to check out this ACE revision questions book that I've worked on for the 2025 to 2029 study design, it's available at book.acedvc.com. Copies are going into the post daily. And so it's got over 500 marks worth of practice questions to help you in the lead up to your SAC and then of your exam. It's also got sample answers as well as a full chapter on extended response questions and also a full trial exam as well. So it's a great resource to help you as you move through Unit 3 and 4. You can also head to our website, thehih.net.au. There's opportunities for teachers and students. Okay, thank you so much.